guys, what's going on, Jeez? It is David here. We're back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we shall be discussing NFL Week 16 predictions or NFL Week 15 predictions. I completely forgot which week it is because it's been a crazy year of NFL. But without further ado, let's get it off and let's start with tonight's game. We're gonna have the Denver Broncos playing the LA Chargers. These are two teams that are going to be in the discussion for a playoff battle. They are two teams that possibly can still qualify for playoffs, which would mean there would be three AFC West teams in the playoffs. And let's not forget, I think both of these coaches are in discussion for Coach of the Year. Sean Payton, in his first actual full season with the quarterback he's won, he's brought Bo Nix to a potential Rookie of the Year contender. And then we have Jim Harbaugh. His first season with the Chargers. The Chargers have a winning record. No way, I didn't even think the Chargers would be even close to making the playoffs. I knew he was a good coach, but I didn't know he was this good of a coach. I know he brought Colin Kaepernick to a Super Bowl about 10 years ago in the same place where the Super Bowl is going to be playing this year. But I just really didn't think that the Chargers are going to be this good. But I expect this game to be a very defensive game. I don't see them putting up a lot of points. And if I was to take the over-under, I'd probably take the under. And my score prediction for this game is going to be Denver Broncos winning 20-17 and continuing Sean Payton's push to make the playoffs. I probably would say Bo Nix, even though he threw 3 picks last game. I see Bo Nix throwing at least 1 pick. I don't see him throwing more than 3 picks. But like I said, it's going to be a defensive game. And yeah, that's all I really expect. The two Saturday games, we have Houston versus Kansas City straight off the bat. And Houston versus Kansas City is an interesting one because Kansas City's been through a lot of the past couple of weeks. They've gone by on the scrape of their legs, the scrape of everything. And they've scraped by to basically only 1 loss, 13-1. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are 13-1 after everything that's been going on. They shouldn't be. I'm going to be honest, they really shouldn't be. And they're right now the team that has the home field advantage for the playoffs. But Patrick Mahomes is injured. And in my honest opinion, I'd rest Patrick Mahomes for this week. Yes, they're playing against Houston, but they can afford to give up a loss. They really can, because remember, I think they have 2 more wins, or Buffalo has 2 more losses than Kansas City. Buffalo, I believe, has 3 losses, Kansas City has 1. So if Kansas City were to give up a loss this weekend against Houston, and then Patrick Mahomes come back for the rest of the season to completely get the get the offense back in motion for the playoffs, then I can see that. In all honesty, I can see Kansas City winning this game if Patrick Mahomes does play, and if anything, I really do expect Patrick Mahomes to play. Even though he's got an ankle injury, I don't really think that's going to really hold him out. And I see this game becoming a close game. I've seen this game staying within a field goal, and I think Kansas City are going to be able to scrape by with the last-second field goal again, winning 21-19 against the Houston Texans. The other Saturday game is going to be Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh should be able to put up some points because everybody that has a good offense has been able to put up points against Baltimore. But Baltimore going up against Pittsburgh's defense is going to be a really interesting one. Now, Pittsburgh obviously lost against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Philadelphia kind of looked like they were the most dominant team in the NFL because they are. And with Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, what they did, even though it was against the Giants, what Lamar did against the Giants this past weekend was nothing short of spectacular. 5 touchdowns against the Giants. But now he's going to go up against a more formidable defense. And even though I would consider this to be a more defensive game, I'm going to say this. Both teams will put up over 20 points. I don't think both teams will put up over 30 points. I don't think both teams will even put up over 25. And that means my score prediction for this game is going to be within a field goal. Whoever's the favorite, I don't really know. Baltimore is going to win this game 24-22 and basically continue their push. And I think this would actually clinch the division for Baltimore. So Baltimore wins the AFC North. Now for the Sunday games, we're gonna speed run through this one. Giants at the Falcons. Giants basically are tanking for the number 1 pick. Atlanta, they just announced that Michael Penix Jr. will be the starting quarterback for this year, for this weekend. So I'm very excited to see how Michael Penix Jr. does in his first full game starting for the NFL, but against the New York Football Giants, I do really expect that the Falcons will be able to pull up some points. I don't really think they're going to be able to put up that many points because even though the Giants just conceded, 35 points to Baltimore, Baltimore has a way better offense and a way better quarterback than we do right now currently in the system. But I expect Atlanta to put at least close to 20 points. I'm going to say Atlanta wins this game in a very under game, 17-13 to the Atlanta Falcons. Detroit at Chicago, two division rivals. Chicago at this point right now basically should just lose just to get a closer pick, to get a tackle or offensive lineman to protect Caleb Williams. The Detroit Lions are going through a defensive injury, so Chicago is going to be able to put up some points in them. And I can see Chicago staying within a touchdown this game, and that's why I have this game ending 27-20 for Detroit Lions. Cleveland against Cincinnati. I would have said Cleveland would be able to keep up in this game if Jameis Winston was starting, but they announced that Dorian Thompson-Robin is going to be the starting quarterback, and I just don't know if that's going to be able to put up well. I mean, Jerry Jeudy and Jameis Winston had a connection together, and I think David Njoku and Jameis Winston had a connection together. So Dorian Thompson's going to have to build that connection with them, and I don't really see him building that connection really that quickly in this game. They'll be able to put up at least 2 touchdowns, but I really just don't see them having a chance to win Cincinnati. Cincinnati's still trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Cincinnati's going to win this game pretty convincingly by a score within 13, 27-14 to Cincinnati. Tennessee, Indianapolis. Tennessee out of playoff contention. Indianapolis is actually still in playoff contention through the wild card. I don't think Indianapolis is going to win the. I believe they actually got eliminated from the AFC South because they lost last weekend and Houston won. But I can still see Indianapolis and AR-15, Anthony Richardson, a quarterback that I personally love. Obviously, he's a Florida boy. I want to see him do well. And if he were able to lead this Indianapolis team to a playoffs, that'd be very good. And considering it's second year and after at the start of the season where a lot of people were probably considering him to be dropped from the team and probably, going with Joe Flacco. But they trusted Anthony Richardson, and he's kind of disappointed, kind of not. It's kind of been an okay season. I can't wait to do my once the season over. I'm gonna plan on looking back at all the games that Anthony Richardson played and see if he's had really a good season or a bad season or just an okay season. But in terms of this game, Indianapolis is going to win 22-20, and we move on. Rams at the Jets. The Jets are the one interesting thing because they're out of playoff contention. So you would think that they would not go for this, but they're going to still play well. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are developing their connection again. Even though it's too late, I can see this Jets putting on a good performance. I can see this Jets team keeping it within a touchdown. And you know what? I'm going to have that. Rams are going to win this game, but not by much. Rams win this game 23-21. Philadelphia, Washington. 2 division rivals. This is an important matchup for Washington to keep them in the playoff battle because obviously they're going to go for the wild card. Philly right now is the best team in the NFL. Philly's going to be able to win this, but considering the amount of points that Washington and the offense that Washington has and the way they're able to put up points, Scary Terry and Jane Daniels connection, 24-20 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Arizona at Cardinals, or Carolina. Arizona at Cardinals, hear me. Arizona at Carolina. Simple, straight and simple. Carolina should be able to keep this game close, but Arizona still is in the battle to win their division. So Arizona's going to have to win this game, and they're going to win this game 20-20. That leaves 5 games left. Minnesota and Seattle, the 4:05 game. Minnesota is battling for number 1 spot. Seattle is battling for a chance to win this division. Seattle's going to keep this close, but Minnesota's going to win this 22-18 for the Minnesota Vikings. New England at Buffalo. New England's just there right now. Buffalo is battling to get the number 1 seed, and Buffalo is going to win this game. Nothing like blink about that. I don't really see the Patriots having a chance at upsetting the Bills or anything. Now that they know that they're gonna be battling for a top 5 pick in the draft. 26-17 to the Buffalo Bills. Jaguars at Las Vegas. This game is going to be really weird because obviously Desmond Ridder put up good numbers against the Falcons, but the Jags and the Raiders are both eliminated from contention. I'm pretty sure if I remember right, they both have basically the same record. And even though I can see this game like turning into an absolute barn burner and just being an under game, I can actually see both teams putting up some points, and that's what I'm going to go with. I'm out of the Jaguars winning 24-19 and beating the Las Vegas Raiders. San Francisco at Miami. San Francisco, playoff contention. Miami, shockingly, still in the playoff contention. And this is former coach Michael McDaniels, the coach of the Miami Dolphins, facing his former team. Obviously, he was a part of the San Francisco 49ers team before he became the Miami Dolphins head coach. He's going to look to upset the 49ers and stop them from making the playoffs. But San Francisco, considering everything that's been going on, they're going to want to play tough for the last 3 games of the season. They're going to want to continue into the playoffs because there's a possibility of Christian McCaffrey coming back into the playoffs. San Francisco is going to win this in a very, very close game. I think this is going to be a 1-point game. San Francisco win this game 22-21. 2 games left. Let's talk about Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay and Dallas. If this ain't a high-scoring game, I don't even know what's going to be. Like, I don't even know what the over-under is for this game, but hold on, let me check. What's the over-under for this game? The over-under for this game is 48.5. This is going to be an over game. I don't see how this is not. Tampa Bay doesn't have a good defense. Dallas doesn't have really that much of a good defense, and Trayvon Diggs just went out for the season. This should be able to be a high-scoring game. But surprisingly, I'm actually going to take the under, but it's still going to be at least a game where both teams can put up a lot of points. I say that Tampa Bay is going to win this game, and continuing their push to win the division and make the playoffs, Tampa Bay wins this game 26-21, and that leaves us with 1 game left. We have New Orleans against Green Bay. New Orleans is surprisingly still in playoff contention, with Spencer Rattler possibly going to be the starting quarterback as of this moment I'm recording right now. They're going to be going against Green Bay, which is basically in contention for a wild card battle. And you would expect that Green Bay to win this game because the Saints are the Saints. With the Saints still in contention to be in the playoffs, I can see the Saints putting up a decent amount of points. We saw Spencer Rattler put up 19 points against the Commanders. Like, Spencer Rattler, once he came in, he started putting up points for the Saints. I can see the Saints put up at least 18 points, but this game is going to be the game that mathematically knocks out the Saints in the playoffs, and the Green Bay Packers will win this game. So that is it for my Week 16-15 NFL predictions videos. Tell me in the guys' comments down below what you guys think, and let me know your opinions or let me know your thoughts on each and every game and what are your predictions for this weekend of the NFL. Because let's just say this, now that we're getting close to the playoffs, it's going to be a lot easier to tell, or a lot harder to tell, who's going to be really the Super Bowl champion for the 2024-2025 NFL season.